It is a fun and novel event laced with live upbeat jazz, the hippest MC in town, and of course a wonderful dining experience which has 3 versions in and around Durban from month-end July to month-end August. That's a night down in New Orleans at Egyptian Ella's performance by an 8-piece jazz orchestra known as the Jazz Minkeys. Now, this orchestra recreates the vibrant exuberance and stylistic nuances of the early popular jazz ensembles like Cannibal, like Louis Armstrong and Louis Prima. And to tell us more about this series of events, we're joined from our Durban studios by Jazz Minkeys band leader, trumpeter and flugel horn player, Daniel Sheldon. A very good morning to you, Daniel. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Morning Live.
How's it, Sam? Thanks for having me.
Great stuff. Now, who are the Jazz Minkeys and how did the band come about?
Jazz Minkeys is a group of Durban jazz musicians. Some of our favorite musicians in the area, actually. Neil Gonzalez on piano, Demi Fernandez on guitar. I'm on trumpet.
Yeah.
Tom Hare on sax, Zoe the Seed Masuku on vocals, Nosia Zulu on vocals as well, Riley Giandori on drums, and we had Ildo Nanja on bass, but we now got Braden Hoare stepping in from 5th season.
How did you guys come together?
Well, I work at the university in the music department, but Durban's a pretty small jazz scene, so we all know each other from the scene.
All right. Now, the Jazz Minkeys, Daniel, seek to recreate, that vibrant exuberance and stylistic nuances of the band ensemble that I've just mentioned earlier. So why do you think this era of jazz is worth recreating?
Because it's fun. I mean, the jazz performance, a lot of the bands are, it's more about having a good time on stage, playing our own original arrangements. Yeah, fun.
Yeah. So what are some of the challenges that you experience in an 8-piece jazz band?
Challenges of an 8-piece jazz band is keeping the band together.
Yeah.
Trying to communicate with everyone. 8 different people. All the guys are band leaders in their own rights.
Yeah.
So that's the tricky part. But when it comes together, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The guys are all fantastic players.
Yeah, and then as band leader, how then do you manage to, to keep these creative minds on the same page?
Don't sleep.
Whoa, that's a tough one.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. All right then. Dan, what would you point out as some of the most memorable experiences that you've experienced since the formation of this band?
It's a relatively new band, so we haven't done too many gigs yet. This one that we're doing down a night down in New Orleans is probably going to be the starter event, so that'll be a good one. We've got you said it all in the clip before you came across to me. We've got a 1920s DJ who's going to be spinning some theme music. We've got Judd Campbell from the prep room is going to be cooking up a storm, and we've got some great arrangements. Rehearsing with the band is great. When we do the couple of gigs that we have done so far has been fantastic as well at the Chairman. Various venues around Durban, and then corporates and stuff that we've done. Okay.
All right then, speak to us about a night down in New Orleans. What is it about?
It's some of the repertoire that we've been getting together is New Orleans stuff. We're a jazz band, so we've put together a show based on one of the songs that we did, Egyptian Ella, and Egyptian Ella is a traditional New Orleans song.
Yeah.
And we liked the song so much that we built a whole story around it. And then we approached one of the venues about doing our show there. And they kind of got on board. So we're doing a whole themed event. So it's more than just the music. It's a whole experience, a New Orleans experience. Yeah. And then there's going to be food, music, fun, lights, props. You saw the decor that we've got.
Yeah.
Black Coffee are sponsoring us with stage and sound.
I believe it starts on from the 28th.
It's an experience, a whole New Orleans experience.
Yeah. I believe it starts from the 28th of July. What can music lovers look forward to?
Oh, geez, we've got quite a broad repertoire. We've got, like I said, there's a lot of New Orleans traditional stuff. We've got some classical pieces that we're doing in a jazz style. We've got some Johnny Cash pieces, so we've got quite a broad repertoire. Mostly it's fun.
Yeah,
they can expect some good music, very good musicianship, a fun time, and a good story as well.
Okay, just a quick one, Dan. Tell us more about Ella and why her story is worth telling through music.
The Egyptian Ella story is it's a traditional New Orleans song, and it's a fun song about a dancing girl in New Orleans who dances in clubs, and she starts to put on weight, and then she loses her job and she loses her appeal. So she goes down and she dances at the banks of the River Nile, and there they're like belly dancers, so they're like large women. So she becomes a hit. So that's what the story of the song is. So we've crafted our story, which is narrated by Ewok and Chloe Clark, around the story of that song. So we've got a girl who starts off in New Orleans and then falls into a bad area, and then goes to Egypt, becomes a hit, and goes back to New Orleans.
All right, Daniel, great chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for your time. All right, that was Daniel Sheldon. He's actually the band leader for the Minkeys, speaking to us about a night down in New Orleans at Egyptian Ella's, which he describes as a fun and novel event, laced with live upbeat jazz, the hippest MC in town, and a wonderful dining experience taking place in and around Durban from the 28th of July through to the 27th of August. All right.